Please don't argue.
Twilight Sparkle's voice shook like the glass in the castle library windows.
You have to leave right now. You aren't safe here anymore.
But
Applebloom, go! Take the escape tunnels. Don't stop until you see the river. The last report Starlight and Sunburst sent in theorized its drugs with running water. Something to do with the saline content and the purifying effects of salt, she thinks. Thought.
Twilight's breathing hitched, but she pushed on.
I don't know if that's true, but it's the best chance you have. Get to the river and use it to get out of Equestria.
But I can't just leave you!
You have to.
Twilight pushed Applebloom toward the hole in the brickwork.
I'll buy you time.
But
I can take care of myself. I'm an alicorn after all.
The filly looked up at her with wide, scared eyes. It was still sinking in that her sister was gone, but there wasn't time to let her process or grieve.
But I can help if I stay!
No!
Applebloom cringed. Twilight bit back tears and took a steadying breath. She would not get the filly to leave with harsh words. This required a lighter touch. She tried to channel her friends and what they would do in this situation, since she had screwed it all up by thinking like herself. Twilight had thought the survivors she had rescued could batten down here to wait things out. The Castle of Friendship had so many magical wards that it was supposed to be impenetrable. There was food enough in the stores for 100 ponies, plus they had Princess Twilight freaking Sparkle to protect them. It had been a perfect plan, she had thought. Instead, she had gotten everyone trapped in one place like fish in a barrel. She could not let this be the end for every single pony that she had tried to save. Twilight forced her voice into a gentle croon.
You have to be smarter than me, Applebloom. You're one of the most intelligent young ponies I've ever had the pleasure of teaching. You know that by staying, you won't be able to help. My lab is already full of roots that came up from underground, so there are barely any potion ingredients left for you to use, and you can't buck this problem away. You have to use your intelligence and survive. Please.
Her heart clenched at the memory of her fallen friend.
I promised Applejack I'd keep you safe.
Outside the crumbling castle walls, the sky blazed a scorched amber. Great black clouds rolled across Equestria, unnaturally fast, choking out the daylight. Twilight could feel her connection with the sun and moon wilting as her strength dwindled. What would happen when she was gone? If Celestia and Luna were still alive, they surely would have come to rescue her by now. She had sent the emergency scroll days ago, after she and Spike left Canterlot to come to Ponyville and saw the extent of the crisis. If they had not cut a path to the Castle of Friendship to come and rescue her and the meager survivors of Ponyville, there was only one explanation as to why. Twilight's heart clenched again. She took a second to throttle it into silence. There was only so much grief one pony could take, but she could not afford to break while Applebloom was still looking at her. It had not started small. Reports had reached her in Canterlot almost immediately that the Everfree had spread, breaking through the invisible border it had always kept to, even before the Tree of Harmony was revived to keep it in check. The forest's magic, always untamed, had warped more and more with every inch of ground it claimed. Black, mossy substance crawled ahead of it, coating everything, everyone it touched, as if ridding ground for the twisted trees and thorny vines that came after. Ponies had called the black moss the Rot, since it looked like mold, and the name had stuck as it consumed Ponyville and the land beyond it with such speed that the town was covered in trees by the time Twilight and Spike arrived. Twilight had no idea how far it had spread by now. Philadelphia? Trottingham? Manhattan? Silver Shoals? Was Canterlot itself even still standing? She thought of her parents in their downtown house and shoved the fresh grief down into her stomach to burn away in the acid there. But the more she tried to suppress her grief, the more it bubbled up. Twilight thought of how she had tried so hard to save Applejack. She had already lost so many ponies she had not been able to accept when Applejack told her to stay back. She should have listened. She should have been smarter. Applejack had known she was done for and had only come to the map room to warn Twilight that the rot was in the castle and beg her to save what little family she had left. Then she had jumped right through the window and smashed into the ground far below, determined not to let the rot use her the way they had seen it use others. Twilight knew she did not have much time to do what she had promised.
Where's every pony else?
Applebloom whispered.
Can't be the only ones left.
Twilight closed her eyes, but that just made the memory of the sealed staircase clearer. There had been no choice, she told herself. There were no survivors left up there. Every single other creature she had brought to the castle for shelter was as gone as those who had refused her help and remained outside. Some had tried to fight when the Tree of Harmony was twisted by the rot into something with thorns instead of stars. Some ran, leaving Ponyville for the chance of safety elsewhere. Some came to the Castle of Friendship for protection, relying on the warding spells their prodigiously talented princess had laid over it. Others headed for the school, hoping Starlight's raw magical power and Sunburst's encyclopedic knowledge of spellwork could save them. As everyone else ran away from the Everfree, Twilight and her friends had ventured into the forest to try to save the tree and invoke its magic to defeat the rot. Only 4 of them came back. Until she drew her final breath, Twilight would never forget the sight of Fluttershy's body impaled on the Tree of Harmony's thorns, or Rainbow Dash desperately trying to pull her free, only to be speared through herself by a vine that thrust her screaming body onto the spikes over and over until she fell silent. That was when Twilight had urged Spike to call for Celestia and Luna. She, Applejack, Rarity, Spike and Pinkie Pie had stumbled out of the forest and tried to warn ponies, but it was too late. Pinkie had not even made it back to Sugar Cube Corner before the rot cleaned her. The cut on her flank had been so small, but it was enough. She was only the first to fall. Spike collapsed in the street, and Rarity would not leave him, even when it was clear he was too far gone to save. The losses since then had been numerous and heart-wrenching, to the point Twilight had thought she was too numb to feel each loss anymore. Until Applejack begged her to save her little sister. Twilight opened her eyes.
There were others that made it out of the kitchens before they were swamped. I sent them on ahead before I went back for you and Applejack. Your sister can't go now, Applebloom, and I'm so sorry for that. But you need to do what she wanted and leave this place while you still can. But I have to stay here, okay? My work isn't done yet.
She thought of the staircase, of the voices and scraping of hooves beyond the barrier she had erected to seal off the castle's upper levels.
I have to go and check the upstairs room to see if anyone else can be saved. Then we'll all follow you to the river.
A lie, but a soft one. She channeled the way Fluttershy used to sing to her animals that there was no danger and everyone in the cottage was safe. And Applebloom believed it. Or wanted to. Twilight could see it in her face. She wanted to believe others had been spared too. Even so, her brave little heart made her set her feet. Twilight wanted to cry. She looked so much like her sister when she did that.
I can help!
No! You can't. Not in this. But you can help me by leaving right now. You can help me by putting my mind at ease that you've survived.
Inspiration struck Twilight.
Get out of Equestria. Fetch our allies. See if their magic can stop the rot. Pony magic failed, but it's not the only kind in the world.
She swallowed the lump in her throat.
I've put all the reports Sunburst and Starlight sent before they went dark in your saddlebags, plus some potion ingredients I was able to salvage that you might find useful. Show the reports to anyone you can find who might be able to use them to help destroy the rot and save the Tree of Harmony.
She had suspected Applebloom would not leave without a task to complete. She was practical and stupidly loyal that way. just like her sister.
Okay.
Applebloom's eyes were glossy, but she finally darted into the tunnel.
I'll go let you down, Twilight.
Twilight waited until the filly's hoofbeats had faded before she sealed the way shut with an impenetrable locking spell. There were no other survivors who would be following the little filly. Not even her. Then she collapsed. The library was silent, save for the creak of trees stretching across the walls and windows outside, and the soft drip of her own blood where the thorn protruding from Applejack's hoof had accidentally sliced her wing.